Jack Pill very strongly when we picked them up at the 600 in the William Reid. This from the Valley last Monday.
Up past the 600-metre mark, Jack Pill is the leader by a half length to wrap around. A length Storaya getting on the inside there, and he was followed closely by Sonic Express, and back behind them is Rechabite and Redelva making ground on the outside, followed by Dr. Grace. Ready to explode, Prince O'Leary, and Milady's Jewel has dropped out to last. They're making the home turn. Wrap around, moving up on the outside to tackle Jack Pill as they straighten up with 200 to go. The whips are out. Jack Pill on the inside, wrap around together by 2 lengths to Storaya. Wrap around on the outside. Jack Pill is fighting back gamely on the rails. Wrap around just in front, and Storaya finishing very fast. Wrap around is the leader, close to home. Wrap around will win it. Wrap around is one from either Storaya or Jack Pill for the minor placings.
Yes, wrap around getting the money, and it's interesting with Ready to Explode, because we should really reflect on Better Loosen Up, because he made the headlines all through the week. His return to racing had been compared with Tullux in the early 60s and some of the other great racehorses who have come back. He went to Flemington yesterday, he had lots of fans. He didn't win, but I don't think he disappointed either.
Better Loosen Up was the star amongst the 7 starters, which included the Melbourne Cup runner-up Shivers Revenge and the above-average sprinter miler Storaya. The race accelerated from the 800 metres, with Damien Oliver making a daring dash for home on Storaya.
And now Storaya sprinted fast to hit the front and rounding the turner. Storaya making every post. A winner is kicked away about 4 to 5 lengths to Specific Prince and Kadima. Shivers Revenge over on the inside and deeper on the track. Better Loosen Up is starting to wind up. Storaya's got a big break on them down past the 400-metre mark. Better Loosen Up's about 4 lengths behind it. Shivers Revenge followed by Kadim. Storaya well clear with about 300 metres left to go from Better Loosen Up, followed by Kadim, who was checked. Shivers Revenge is finishing fast down the outside. Storaya starting to weaken. Shivers Revenge is picking him up rapidly. Better Loosen Up can't go on. Shivers Revenge hit the front. Shivers Revenge. Shivers Revenge moved away to win by a length and a half. Storaya. Better Loosen Up is third, followed by Big Colony.
Whilst there was a sense of disappointment surrounding Better Loosen Up's defeat, he'd won his last 7 races prior to breaking down. David Hayes and Mick Dipman, who was having his first ride on the gelding, remain optimistic about the future.
I think he'll come back. I don't think there's any worries about that. You know, so he's a long time out of racing, and you know, although he looked pretty fit, it's still a bit of a task to ask. And
he said this is like Bart in the 60s and 70s. I mean, Bart went through a patch where he struggled. He's certainly not struggling. He's challenging Hayes at the moment very strongly. Let's Elope versus Shivers Revenge. Fill us in, you know the two of them. Who's the best?
Well, today or yesterday, what we've seen Shivers Revenge do, I mean, Let's Elope's going to have to be very good to keep up with him now.
She is.
And she's proved that in the Melbourne Cup and Caulfield Cup, so it's going to be very interesting.
Keith, you have had an update on Better Loosen Up. How has he pulled up this morning?
Yes, he's fine, Bruce, not a problem at all. He's been for a bit of a trot and a walk at Flemington. We went yesterday to see a champ, didn't we? And we may have seen one. It was just a different one than we expected.
Shivers Revenge, who Greg...
Champion over all distances. But Bart Cummings knew she could prove herself a champion over all distances. She had the will to win.
Given on a dry track, I'd say she was. Leilani was very good and light fingers, but they could handle both. But on a dry track, I think Let's Elope was unbeatable.
But still Campaign King by 2.5, Dr. Grace. Prince Elieri now, and here's Let's Elope starting to wind up strongly at the 200. Campaign King is grabbed by Prince Elieri, and now Let's Elope is coming home. Prince Elieri by a neck. Let's Elope with big bounds is coming after him. Let's Elope and Prince Elieri. Prince Elieri has his nose in front. She bobbed the mare. Dr. Grace still...
Who Greg rode yesterday, and...
With a rattling run, Campaign King about to be tackled by... Let's Elope ranged up on the outside to tackle Prince O'Leary, who won't give in. Prince O'Leary's still the leader. Let's Elope getting to win. Let's Elope, Prince O'Leary. Let's Elope on the outside. Might have just beaten Prince O'Leary in third place. Brass Sheep.
Yes, there's a lot of speculation while we waited for the outcome of the protest. Let's Elope now heading for the Australian Cup. And then the BMW in Sydney. That's the same path that last year's Derby winner, Star of the Realm, is taking. And Stephen...
Welcome back. Well, yesterday at Flemington we saw the confirmation of a new star in Shivers Revenge and the emergence of a very new star in Scalacci, Lee Friedman trained horse who won the Lightning Stakes. Well, okay, let's go to the Blamey. This horse, Shivers Revenge, with a flashing run, just like he did in the Chester Manifold.
As they approach the home turner at the 650, Shavano missed by a length and a half. Dr. Grace is close handy. 2 lengths away, then Stylish Century there, followed by Better Loosen Up and Shivers Revenge as they straighten up with 500 to go. Shavano Miss leads them into the straight by a little over a length. Dr. Grace challenging on the outside. Better Loosen Up, followed by Stylish Century. And Shivers Revenge has pulled to the outside and starting to wind up. About 350 metres left to go. Shavano misses the leader. Dr. Grace and Shivers Revenge down the outside, starting to come after them. Better Loosen Up can't go up as they run down with 150 to go. Shavano miss. Here comes Shivers Revenge on the outside and Dr. Grace the centre. Shavano misses the leader. Shivers Revenge coming after it. It's going home the better. Shivers Revenge too good. Shivers Revenge by 3/4 of a length. Shavano miss and Dr. Grace close up third.
Well, he's equal favourite now, 2-1 with Let's Elope for the Australian Cup. If she's successful at Caulfield next week, she may run favourite.
Shivers Revenge, of course, will now run in the Australian Cup, and his only danger, to my mind, is the stablemate, Let's Elope. On Better Loosen Up, I really think that his last in that small field yesterday has left the Hayes camp with decision time. I think there are only 2 options, rest or retire. He can't go on the way he's racing.
Yeah, will run pretty well, but you've got that big Sydney program. Let's go into the Lightning because it was such a spectacular win, and we'll talk about this grey horse of Lee's, Scalacci.
Final card. They're off now. And a wraparound looked to jump out pretty well towards the centre. Raw Talent was away quickly on the inside, and Street Ruffian showing speed with Maritima. Printer's Choice began well, and Justin behind them going forward quickly as Noble Lancer, and they were followed by Final Card and King Marauding going very fast. They're all heading towards the flat side rail as they run down with about 700 metres left to go. Street Ruffian, one of the leaders here with Noble Lancer in the picture, is Maritima over on the inside. Raw Talent, and they were being followed by Scalacci. Final Card is next down the outside. King Marauding there, followed by Wraparound, and further back is Sonic Express, a long gap to Umatilla, followed by Sarah Fox and Jack Pilra. Delva's a long way back with Planet Ruler, 250 to go now. Here's Final Card and Scalacci. Scalacci's raced up to hit the front, coming down past the 200 and kicked away from Street Ruffian. Final Card finishing on King Marauding, and Wraparound from a long way back, and Umatilla finishing very fast, but Scalacci's got it won. Scalacci goes to the line to win it well by a length and a half. Umatilla, Wraparound's run third.
Well, extraordinary to think that this horse had only had 3 starts prior to yesterday at weight for age and was able to run away from top-class horses when they were running 55.9. Hey, Lee, we've seen the new Manicato, Scalacci, after the race. This is an enormous statement. Yesterday when Lee was interviewed after Scalacci winning the Lightning.
From the outset, his Lightning Stakes win came at just his 4th race start and his first in open company.
King Marauding under pressure, 250 out, and Scalacci raced up to Street Ruffian and took the lead, and then Noble Lancer. Final Card can't go on, and Wraparound trying to get into it, followed by King Marauding, but Scalacci well clear. Wraparound finishing well with Umatilla on the outside, but the brilliant Scalacci wins it a length and a half.
We had a very big
Third.
Well, extraordinary to think that this horse had only had 3 starts prior to yesterday at weight for age and was able to run away from top-class horses when they were running 55.9. Hey, Lee, we've seen the new Manicato, Scalacci, after the race. This is an enormous statement. Yesterday when Lee was interviewed after Scalacci winning the Lightning, he said this horse reminds me a lot of Manicato. You can't be serious. Manicato won 5 William Reeds, 4 Futurities. It was one of the all-time greats.
I think I'm going to live to regret that statement somehow, but no, this horse is very exciting though. I mean, you know, having his 4th run in a race yesterday and winning a Lightning Stakes that easily, it's, you know, he's got unlimited potential.
The thing that was impressive was the way that he won the race. He put 2 lengths in a very good field like that, didn't he?
He was amazing, and I don't know whether he is another Manicato, but Manicato won 29 races. I think this horse is going to win a lot. He's named after Italy's leading striker from the 1990 World Cup, Bruce, and I think there are many goals ahead of this fellow too, Scalacci.
Good pun.
A very big opinion of him right from the start, and he won his maiden at the Provincials, then ran unplaced under over 1,400 metres at the Spring Carnival here, which was probably too far to send him at that stage. And then we freshened him up, and a few weeks later he won 1,000 metres at Sandown, and he equalled the course record. And whilst you normally wouldn't run a horse like that in the Lightning off a restricted win, the fact that he equalled the course record at his 3rd start, it was probably going to be a pretty good gamble to run him in the Lightning, and of course the rest is history. He won that and then the Oakley.
Good pun there, Keith. With naturalism, Lee, in the Australian Guineas, the feature race yesterday, Lee's horse was 3 wide all the way, was beaten by a neck. They equalled the course record held by Vo Rogue. Jolly Old Mac, a terrific win, a different riding tactic by Darren Gauci. Let's go to the Guineas.
Coming down to approach the home turn now, ready to explode, about to be tackled by Jolly Old Mac, and just behind them Lorando. Wide on the track there, Naturalism as they straighten up, and they were followed at the head of the others, then over on the outside by Carolingian, and Coulong Road is starting to come from a long way back. They're homeward bound at the 400. Jolly Old Mac has taken the lead from Ready to Explode, and here comes Naturalism and Lorando, and wider on the track is Coulong Road as they come to the 250. Jolly Old Mac is the leader. Naturalism is under the whip, and they're followed by Ready to Explode and Lorando, but Jolly Old Mac is the leader with about 150 left to go. Naturalism is trying hard. Jolly Old Mac is the leader. Naturalism slowly but surely wearing him down. Don't think he'll make it. Jolly Old Mac has hung on to score. Jolly Old Mac a long head to Naturalism with Lorando third.
Well, a terrific win for John Sadler, and pleasing to see, considering that he had some bad luck in the Debonair a couple of weeks ago. Naturalism, I mean, I was going to say any excuses. It was a terrific run in the circumstances.
It was a great run. I mean, he's probably just looking for more ground now. And you know, John's horse is a very good horse. He won the Standish not long ago, and you know, he's got a terrific future. So I don't think it's any disgrace.
Let's elope.
Let's elope. Well, she was fantastic. She is simply the best. She looked to be under pressure a long way from home yesterday, yet she got up and won. And after the race, Dr. Jeff...
Let's have a look. Dr. Grace, let's elope this thrilling duel in the St George.
Prince O'Leary being hard ridden at the 600, where Shavano Miss was the leader by a length in advance of Dublin Lad and Dr. Grace. Brashear, Let's Elope second last, and Prince O'Leary last of all as they round the home turn. The pressure's on. 450 left to go. Shavano Miss is being tackled by Dr. Grace, and here comes the big mare. Let's Elope around the outside. Brashear's back behind them. Prince O'Leary can't go on. 300 metres left to go now, and Shavano Miss is tackled by Dr. Grace, and Let's Elope is down the outside, and then Prince O'Leary down inside the final 200. Dr. Grace on the outside, Shavano Miss, and Let's Elope is joining in. Dr. Grace is the leader close to home. Let's Elope the outside, they hit it. Let's Elope. Let's Elope by a head on the line to Dr. Grace with Shavano Miss third.
Still then Shavano Miss fighting it out from Let's Elope, who has to find something with courage on the outside. Still Dr. Grace in front. Let's Elope tries hard. She's coming home. She'll get there again. Let's Elope right on the post. Nailed Dr. Grace. Another courageous win at the 400.
Shavano Miss third.
Keith, we were talking to Jeff Fennick about this long unbeaten run he's got at the moment. I mean, Let's Elope has been beaten, but she's building up and building up. 6 in a row. Goes into the Australian Cup now against Shivers Revenge. They were 2-1 equal favourites before that race yesterday. Which way are you leaning?
I'm sticking with Let's Elope at this stage, Bruce. I think only Rain could beat her. She's a duffer on the wet where Shivers Revenge likes it. There's probably still not much between them, betting-wise, but does seem to have it parcelled up. Although Jeff Chapman thinks that he can get revenge with Dr. Grace.
And again, I hate to go against you here, but Shivers will beat her in the Australian Cup.
All right, shilling on the side there.
We're dead. You'd still have a shilling too, I bet you. Let's go to the Oakley Plate, the race for the fastest horses in Australia. And Scalacci, well, he won the Lightning last week. The Oakley now, 2/3 of the way, and will he win the Newmarket? Here's the Oakley.
A bit further back is Joanne being hard-ridden. Did he do it? And then Sonic Express, a length and a half to Umatilla, who's well back, followed by Blue Boss Napoleon. Zephyrata second last as they make the home turn, and Grandiose is last as they straighten up, where Noble Lancer is the leader. Scalacci down the outside, running on pretty well, followed by My Satin Star. Dark Bow is back behind them. Mr. Cube from a long way back, and All Archie. Scalacci on the outside has taken the lead with 100 to go from Noble Lancer, and Dark Bow running on well, followed by Mr. Cube. But Scalacci's in front, and Scalacci. Here comes Dark Bow. Too late. Scalacci's won it. Dark Bow is second. Dapper's Hope is third.
Noble Lancer, the leader in the straight, with Scalacci coming out after it at the 200. Then Dark Bow and Mr. Cube, followed by All Archie. But Scalacci has taken the lead from Noble Lancer with 100 metres to go. The Flying Greys dash to the front of the whip. Dark Bow's finishing well. Scalacci in front of Dark Bow, and Scalacci wins at a half length. Dark Bow. Scalacci's coming up.
Third.
Well, Damien Oliver was going to ride Dark Bow at one stage because he didn't know Scalacci was running, and he's jumped onto Scalacci. Joanne's interesting. The first time she hasn't started favourite in a race. She doesn't fire as well in Melbourne.
No, she carried a kilo more than the weight she carried in defeat last year, and she's not won at Group 1, so maybe there is a measure to her ability.
About Scalacci, yeah. We gave Lee Friedman a bit of stick last week for mentioning that it might be in the Manicato class, but he might be in the Placid Art class because he's 2/3 of the way to the Triple Crown.
Yes, only one horse has ever won the Triple Crown. That was Placid Arc. So he's 2/3 of the way there. I spoke this morning with the handicapper, and a penalty won't... Scalacci, incidentally, Bruce, set a race and track record, so he's really flying. But I wonder whether he can run the 1,200 metres of the Newmarket handicap.
Friedman's talking about maybe the George Main Stakes after the Newmarket. That's a mile at Randwick.
Yes.
I've got a feeling that you think you'll get run over in the Newmarket, and I hate to say it, I tend to agree with you. I've got a feeling they might get to him in the last 100 metres.
Yeah, well, if we're agreeing, we might both be wrong.
He's a certainty to win the Triple Crown now.
Sure, absolutely.
You better back him. But
now, and master trainer Bart Cummings today won his second Blue Diamond Stakes with brilliant filly Riva Diva. After starting poorly, Riva Diva stormed down the straight to make it 5 successive wins, and she'll now be set for the Golden Slipper.
400 metres left to go, and King Marauding will lead them into the straight, about to be tackled by Verdingly. But King Marauding has kicked away at the top of the straight, 2.5 lengths to Yachty, who's second. Loving Cup is third. They're followed by Riva Diva, coming home well down the centre of the track, past the 200. King Marauding, here comes Riva Diva with a great run down the outside, could be the danger. King Marauding tackled by Riva Diva, who hit the front end. Riva Diva for the IWF Blue Diamond. She races home to win brilliantly. Riva Diva first, a photo for the minor placings.
Close for the minor placings. Yachty was second at 25 to 1 ahead of Chinquillo, a 16 to 1 third. The second leg of the double, the Futurity Stakes.
Wrap around and Jack Pill behind them trying to get runs, and Planet Ruler putting it a run, but he's way off the track when they turn for home. In the straight, 300 metres to go. Storaya, Dapper's Hope, wrap around behind them. Planet Ruler down the outside with a late run, and they're followed further back by Citizen Mannerism. Planet Ruler's got his head in front of Storaya with 150 to go. Jack Pill getting up on the inside. Mannerism getting out late. Planet Ruler in front. Mannerism flying over the top of it, and Mannerism gets up to win.
A dashing performance by the Lee Friedman trained Mannerism, starting at 12 to 1 ahead of Planet Ruler at 20s, and race favourite Wraparound at 5 to 2.
And racing, Western Chorus away quickly. Scalacci came out a little awkwardly and gave Noble Lancer a bump at the start. Dark Bow away fast, and so too was Street Ruffian. Grandiose showing some pace with Storaya, and Alishan gets well back in the field, and so does Umatilla. They settle down now, racing towards the 900 metre mark, and here's Rechabite moving up on the outside, and Street Ruffian, and these two show the way. In third placing, Noble Lancer over on the outside, and Western Chorus dropped onto the rail, followed by Alishan, and then came Miss Comanche. Storaya over on the rails behind these. Scalacci on the outside of Miss Comanche. Further back in the field is Dark Bow over on the outside, and then Grandiose, who's well back. Second last, Umatilla and Sonic Express. 500 left to go now. Street Ruffian, the leader, about a length in front. Noble Lancer coming after it quickly, and Western Chorus along the rail. Scalacci, Damien Oliver about to give the grey full bore on the outside as they race to the 300 metre mark. Noble Lancer, the leader. Scalacci's coming after it quickly. Western Chorus has dropped out quickly though. Inside the 200, Scalacci got to Noble Lancer. Umatilla's running on okay, but the grey flash, Scalacci's put a gap on them. Umatilla's finishing quickly on the outside, and then Storaya, but Scalacci wins the magnificent treble. Second is Storaya, a half length away, and Umatilla is third, and they were followed then by Street Ruffian. Back behind them, Sonic Express, and Miss Comanche ran a good race. Further back in the field was Noble Lancer, Western Chorus. She's only finished the middle of the field, or worse, and next in was Alishan. Rechabite trailed by Dark Bow, who was well back, and wonderful treble. Only once before achieved by the brilliant Western Australian Placid Arc has been equalled by this grey flash Scalacci.
Is there another one?
The inside, Street Ruffian has worked his way to the lead by a half length in advance of Rechabite. Close up behind them on the inside, Western Chorus being followed by Alishan in a handy position. Noble Lancer is in behind them. Wider on the track is Scalacci, followed by Miss Comanche. Dark Bow on the outside, Umatilla, Grandiose and Sonic Express as they race onto the course proper. It's a compact field. Street Ruffian on the inside, the leader. About to be tackled by Noble Lancer, and Western Chorus driving up along the inside, followed by Alishan, and Scalacci is joining in down the outside with a good run. 300 metres left to go. Noble Lancer about to be tackled by Scalacci. They've got away by a length and a half. Street Ruffian, Umatilla, Western Chorus, nowhere to go. Scalacci's taken the lead with 100 metres left to go. Hands and heels by Oliver. Finishing on Umatilla. Scalacci is the leader, close to home. Umatilla and finishing very fast to Raya, but Scalacci for the Newmarket. Scalacci by a half length to Raya, third Umatilla.
Fantastic performance by Scalacci. That was only his 6th start in a race, and he equalled the record set by Placid Arc in 1987 of winning the Lightning Stakes, the Oakley Plate and the Newmarket Handicap, and it has not been since Wakeful in 1901 since a horse had so few starts won the Newmarket. Wakeful was having only her 4th. Let's have a look now. Bart's our guest this morning, but Bart was denied a 9th win in the Newmarket Handicap. It was won for the first time by Lee Friedman. What went wrong with your mare?
Good question.
Do you have the answer, Bart?
No, not really. But I think the winner's too good.
Winner's too good. It was the first Newmarket success for Lee Friedman. And, of course, let's have a look now at the Francis...
As good as anything he's ever trained after her outstanding win in today's Australian Cup at Flemington. Let's Elope came from last to thrash stablemate Shivers Revenge, giving Cummings his 10th Australian Cup victory.
As has always been the case, the Melbourne public was anxious to watch champions in action, and it was a large crowd eagerly anticipating what on paper looked to be a match race between the mighty mare Let's Elope and the horse which unluckily followed her home in the Melbourne Cup, Shivers Revenge, both prepared by Bart Cummings. In the ring, punters preferred Shivers Revenge, sending him out at 5-4 with Let's Elope at 2s. The Cup winner raced at the tail of the field until they straightened, but then produced a sprint which will long be remembered.
At the 400-metre mark, Prince Salieri went up on the outside to tackle Fire Oak Stylish Century. Shivers Revenge starting his run, and here she comes. Here comes the mare, Let's Elope. She's swamping them on the outside at the 300-metre mark. The Melbourne Cup winner, Let's Elope, has limbed up and taken the lead. Shivers Revenge battling back on the inside, and then Prince Salieri, but the body mare's drawing away to the roars of the crowd. Let's Elope coming away for a brilliant win in the Australian Cup. Let's Elope trots in. 3 lengths Shivers Revenge, 2 lengths to Prince.
On returning to scale, Let's Elope was greeted with an ovation only afforded to champions. After victory number 10 in this race, Bart Cummings was as usual unflappable but full of praise.
I suppose I have to admit that she's probably one of the best I've trained after today. Her record stood for 30 years and she's equal that, and beat the best field in the land at a mile and a quarter.
Last-minute instructions were given to stand-in jockey Darren Beedman. They were simple: drop out and allow the horse to finish strongly. By the time the field approached the home turn, Let's Elope was last. Bart Cummings was a touch nervous. Here's John Russell.
Look at Let's Elope with a magnificent run. Let's Elope on the outside, going up to hit the front past the 200 from Shivers Revenge, who's coming at it. Then Prince Salieri, followed by Dr. Grace and Big Colony, but it's Let's Elope for the Honda Australian Cup, and she wins it brilliantly. Let's Elope by 3 lengths.
The incredible performance brought a slight smile from the boss and from the punters. Let's Elope starting 2-1 from Shivers Revenge, 5-4 favourite, and Prince Salieri 15-2. On equalled Sky High's 2,000-metre record from 30 years ago.
Well, it's pretty hard to imagine them do these things until you see it happen, and that was a great race to watch, I tell you.
Beedman offered the highest praise.
I know why I haven't been able to beat her in the past. She's got a Ferrari engine.
Let's Elope will now travel to Sydney to run in the BMW on April the 11th.
With a solid victory in the Australian Cup at Flemington. The race was a carbon copy finish of last year's Melbourne Cup for trainer Bart Cummings. Bart Cummings quinelled last year's Melbourne Cup with Let's Elope and Shivers Revenge. Today, punters were of the opinion that Gelding could turn the tables on the mare, sending Shivers Revenge to the barrier, favourite at 5-4. But the outcome was the same. Here's the concluding stages.
On the outside, Let's Elope going up to Shivers Revenge and Prince Salieri, followed by Dr. Grace. But the great mare's taken the lead now. Let's Elope with 150 to go. She's drawing away. This super awesome mare. Let's Elope 3 in front, holding Shivers Revenge and Prince Salieri. A magnificent Australian Cup to Let's Elope by 4 lengths. Shivers Revenge second, a length away, third Prince Salieri.
Today's win has taken Let's Elope's career earnings to the $3 million mark. The classy mare started at 2-1, Shivers Revenge 5-4 favourite, Prince Salieri 15-2.
100-metre mark now, and it's Prince Salieri racing up to the lead. Shivers Revenge a length and a half behind, and here comes the big mare. Let's Elope is winding up powerfully. She's racing up on the outside to Prince Salieri. Shivers Revenge in the centre is not as good as this mare. No way. She's racing away. The champion mare's racing clear. Let's Elope from Shivers Revenge, and Let's Elope dominates the Australian Cup and wins it by 3.5.
The mare had her problems from that point, but she'd clearly established herself as a champion with 7 straight wins against the best horses in the land. Under all conditions...
Up in Sydney, the highlight was the grand win of champion Superimpose in the Group 1 Chipping Norton Stakes. We picked them up at the turn with Super last.
On the outside is about to take off. Darren Beedman searching for runs between horses on Superimpose, as he did in the Epsom. Coming over the rise now, Shivano Miss, not handling the way of going, has drifted right out wide, is still in front of Quick Score, Kinjate. Beedman's back to the fence on Superimpose, and further out My Eagle Eye. Quick Score, the leader over Kinjate. Superimpose starting to hit top gear on the inside rail. Superimpose is bursting through. I think he's got him. He's done it again, doesn't he? Loved the Randwick Mile. Superimpose wins the Chipping Norton. Quick Score second. In third place is Kinjate.
Super's record at Randwick and his mile credentials are impeccable, but this was his first win there at Weight for Age.
Up the Tooheys Canterbury Guineas, one of the traditional lead-up races to the AJC Derby to be run on April the 18th. A lot of these often running in the Guineas. As they start the run up the hill, and Silk Ali has raced away at the 600 mark, opened up a lead of 3 lengths on My Diamond Rouge, followed by Big Dreams, Naturalism having a pretty hard run. Western Showdown losing ground. Viander Cross is coming into it strongly. A Gap Ender ready to explode under pressure, followed by Heroicity taken away from the fence, but giving these leaders a big start as they come around the corner, where Silk Ali is the leader over Big Dreams, Naturalism and Viander Cross down the extreme outside. Coming to the 200 mark and wide out, it's Viander Cross getting to the lead over Naturalism. They've shaken off Big Dreams. Viander Cross has got the better of Naturalism close to home and is racing away and scores a top win in the Guineas. Viander Cross came away to win it a bit more than a length to Naturalism. Third's pretty tight. Heroicity, I think, just in front of Big Dreams. Close in front of Big Dreams. Close up Sub-Zero, Mac Robert, then Ready to Explode, followed by Coolong Road, My Diamond Rouge, Mango's Lunch, Silk Ali weakened out of it, and then Zinders and Western Showdown, and Absolute is Marmur.
After a first up fourth in the Gosford Guineas, the young star was ready to take on the heavyweights.
Extreme outside, coming to the 200 mark and wide out, it's Viander Cross getting to the lead over Naturalism. They've shaken off Big Dreams. Viander Cross has got the better of Naturalism close to home and is racing away and scores a top win in the Guineas. Viander Cross came away to win it a bit more than a length to Naturalism.
That race.
Okay, the winner, and an effortless winner too, is Viander Cross to pay odds of 850 and 280. As we go back to Eden Park.
Go to the Randvet Stakes. Let's have a look at Rough Habit. And Jimmy does have a good look around on the turn.
Just a Dancer on the outside of Superimpose, and Beedman's entitled to be a little bothered about how he's going to get out of there as they go by the 800 mark. Stylish Century led about a half on Dr. Grace, Magnolia Hall, and then Just Tommy. Cassidy's off on Rough Habit. He's sweeping around them 3 wide up towards the lead. Then My Eagle Eye, followed by Castletown, Star of the Realm. Superimpose into the clear now. He'll be taken to the outside as they turn the corner, and Just a Dancer last as they straighten. Stylish Century led. Dr. Grace is after him. Rough Habit is looming to them on the outside. He's got them covered, and Cassidy's confident. Rough Habit has raced to the lead from Dr. Grace, Stylish Century, then My Eagle Eye. Cassidy's looking for Superimpose, but he's nowhere to be seen. Rough Habit is in front. Now he's got to go for him. Here's the danger. My Eagle Eye. My Eagle Eye is coming at Rough Habit. Rough Habit still in front. My Eagle Eye is coming home the best on the outside. They hit it, I think. My Eagle Eye in a boil over. My Eagle Eye by a nose to Rough Habit, Stylish Century, then Dr. Grace, Star of the Realm. Superimpose didn't do much in the run home.
Well, make up your own mind there on Rough Habit whether or not he was completely genuine in the run up the straight. Superimpose. Cassidy, Keith, a great rider, but gee, he'd have a sore neck this morning. He's had 48 looks in the straight on Rough Habit. Overconfident?
I don't know whether it was overconfidence. Max would have a better idea of that, Bruce, but I thought Rough Habit, and if Max is using terms in brackets, doggedly or dogged it. Rough Habit, he didn't seem to want to go on with it, to my mind.
Don't think he did his best. Max, what was your feeling on that?
Oh, the experienced eye of Hillier. I thought, watching the race, that Cassidy was a trifle overconfident, but then on the replay and noting the steward's report that Rough Habit was trying to get out over the latter stages. Congratulations, Keith. And of course, Rough Habit only went down by a short half head to My Eagle Eye, and had My Eagle Eye Hillier, and had he won the race, I'm sure he would have lost it on protest.
Hey, I reckon we should mention Stylish Century. What a remarkable horse he is to finish a half a length away with all that he's been through over the years.
Yes, and his trainer says the best is yet to come from Stylish Century too. He's just warming up, Bruce.
I thought he might say that. The trainer, Superimpose, can he still win the Doncaster? That's the big question.
Superimpose can win the Doncaster, but excuse my sarcasm, but Superimpose is a fair weather champion. If everything breaks Superimpose's way, he can win it
out. Max, he's won 2 Epsoms and 2 Doncasters. He's one of the great horses.
Yes, but Bruce, I'm trying to point out that everything went his way. Now, when there is a little bit of moisture on the track and he gets his footsies a bit damp, he can't put his best foot forward.
I don't believe
the
this.
superimpose, Bruce, that you saw yesterday, was that the superimpose at Randwick last start? And also, you'll say he's a better horse at Randwick than he is at Rosehill. He won the Randvet 12 months ago at Rosehill.
Yeah, but he did run last in the BMW last year and then came out and won the Doncaster at his next stop.
That's what I'm saying. I've never known an outstanding horse or a champion, which on his day superimposes, that can vary his form as much.
I'm the third man in the ring. Leave me right out of this one. Max is getting far too heavy.
Well, Max, well, I'm speechless. But what are you saying, that he's inconsistent?
I've got certainly a horse you cannot take lightly, but I've got Viander Cross #1 in the AJC Derby at this stage.
OK, and why not? Because his run yesterday was outstanding, but congratulations to Naturalism in his first Group 1 success. Let's go to the Rosehill Guineas.
And Dark Czar is the leader. My Wanderer Star second. In third place, Beowulf, followed by Heroicity in the box seat. And then Stargate, Sub-Zero, travelling 3 deep at the 800 mark. Further back, Coolong Road. Then Cooler Fair, Naturalism, out wide, Skylock. Followed by My Diamond Rouge, Viander Cross. Hard Ridden is going 4 and 5 deep right around the field. He's going to have to put up one hell of an effort to win the Guineas. They've got him right off the track as they near the turn. Dark Czar is the leader, coming to the corner over My Wanderer Star. And then Beowulf, Naturalism, followed by Sub-Zero, Coolong Road, and Viander Cross couldn't possibly get any wider. Straightening up for the run home, Dark Czar, My Wanderer Star, Heroicity putting in a dash. Here comes Naturalism, and Viander Cross under the whip is grinding away on the outside. Naturalism took the lead past the 200 mark from Viander Cross, getting into second place and is trying desperately to pick up the leader. Naturalism stopping Viander Cross. He's as game as Ned Kelly, but he can't reach Naturalism. Naturalism won the Guineas by a head to Viander Cross, the best thing beaten I think I've ever seen in the Guineas.
Well, that's what Johnny Tapp had to say. Viander Cross, Naturalism, throw-in star of the realm. The Derby is going to be very exciting. Skylock. Viander Cross, gee, that's the best thing beaten you've ever seen. That was a very poor ride, wasn't it?
Oh, I wouldn't be too severe on the rider, and this certainly isn't, shall we say, I'm not putting cushions under riders who ride bad races, but everybody at Rosehill seemed to be adamant that Jim Walker, the New Zealander, rode an appalling race on Viander Cross, but he was the victim of circumstances. He was wide on the turn. He had to make his run up around the field because Viander Cross requires time to get balanced, which he did. Now, he came around the bend wide, but Sub-Zero, I think it was, about 3 horses in, lugged out and took him out a few horses wider. Now, that probably cost him the race, cost him momentum and cost him the race. Bruce...
Naturalism looked a shade unlucky in the previous time they clashed in the Canterbury Guineas. Now the Rosehill Guineas has gone to Naturalism. You're feeling, Keith, from an AJC Derby point of view?
Well, he's racing well. He has been improved by the application of pacifiers, Bruce, but I think that at Randwick that Viander Cross would have his measure, but I think that Star of the Realm might be the third one in the corner, and he might come out and surprise them all.
Monday. Let's go to the George Ryder Stakes. He is a terrific horse. Kinjatoni had a real battle with one of his arch rivals, Big Dreams.
It's been a pretty muddling affair. 700 out, they've gone at a leisurely bat. Quick score, the leader, Kinjatoni, going up to join him with Big Dreams, obliged to race 3 deep. Right behind those Vows and Arc Regal, followed by Stradmore, Prince Salieri, taking off around them now. Take the Road, better loosen up, flat to the boards, about 6 off the lead, and Michael Clark is probing for runs between horses. Not much room there at the moment. Big Dreams and Kinjatoni, quick score on the inside. The 3 of them are in line. Big Dreams looks to have taken a narrow lead. Big Dreams on the outside has the head in front of Kinjatoni, who's not done with yet. Big Dreams wants to shift a bit under pressure. Kinjatoni kicking again, and these old rivals are having a battle royal. Kinjatoni grabbed the lead. He's got Big Dreams measure, and Kinjatoni thrown over the line by Dittman. Beat Big Dreams. Oh, better loosen up. Has charged home. He's in a photo for third.
And he just missed out. Keith, Kinjatoni is now favourite for the Doncaster Handicap. Kinjatoni, a terrific horse. He's a hardy horse. He must have an excellent constitution. He's had 24 starts and he's still just 3 years of age. You've already mentioned better loosen up.
Yes, it was the first win for Kinjatoni or his trainer at either of the STC tracks, Bruce. He was Polex last week and it was an impressive win, but gosh, better loosen up. He is coming back. It was a fantastic and an eye-catching performance.
Max, your impressions of better loosen up? Firstly, how he looked and how he raced.
Before the race, he looked superb. Certainly had scope for improvement, but David Hayes has done a very good job with this horse, considering his leg problems. During the race, he raced well. He went to the line with enthusiasm. It was a good race. After the race, he also caught the eye. One of the STC vets felt he was lame. John Schreck, the STC chief steward, thought he was...
Just a point about Kinjite's race, it was a sprint home. That adds to the merit of Better Loosen Up, who gave the 3-year-olds a lead, and as you noted, went to the line very, very strongly. But the
market for the Golden Slipper, Clan O'Sullivan is 5-4 favourite, Burst at 5-1. Of course, Reva Diva not running, Clocker, some doubt about her at 7-1. And maybe Vertingly, or Surtee must have been impressive during the week too, at 10-1. Keith and Max, you're both staying with Clan O'Sullivan at this stage?
Yes, I am, Bruce. I think that as racing panned out yesterday, there wasn't a serious threat to Clan O'Sullivan to emerge from the meeting at Rose Hill. I think Burst, the filly, does loom as the only threat, but she doesn't even do that in my mind. I think he's a special next week.
And Max, you agree with Keith, over the line?
Not over the line. I've got Clan O'Sullivan on top. Surtee is a risk. Interesting point about Clocker. Clocker's...
Well, I'll bet you Tats ticket both of you. Burst will beat Clan O'Sullivan next week. And it's lovely to see that fair weather horse will probably get a run next week superimposed. Max, we've got to leave you. Good luck. I'll read your articles in the Sydney. Shane Dye overcoming a serious injury to win the Golden Slipper Stakes for the 4th consecutive year. I doubt whether we'll see this record equalled again. Keith?
Without doubt, the best female 2-year-old in Australia and the best male 2-year-old in Australia, Quinella the Slipper. Clan O'Sullivan was attacked from barrierised. Wonder whether a front runner will ever win another Golden Slipper, and I especially wonder whether a front-running favourite could win a Golden Slipper. But full credit to Burst. She came from back in the field, but the race was set up for her.
Let's go to the 1992 Golden Slipper Stakes.
Off and running in the Tooheys Golden Slipper. Tennessee Mist is a clear last to leave the starting gate. Clear Harmony began well, and so did Loving Cup and Fast Seal. Clan O'Sullivan is exploding over now from his number 9 barrier. He's going to lead the Clan. Clan O'Sullivan got to the fence and led over Loving Cup on the outside. Running third when they settled Vertingly, followed by Fast Seal, King Marauding Clocker. Clear Harmony badly hampered in the early stages. Further back in the field then is Ken Fair in the run to the first turn. Tennessee Mist is making up ground. Yachty is out very deep. Burst is cluttered up between horses. Back with her Chinquillo, a long gap to Dan Zadak. And then Sparky Miss, followed by Merry Shade, and Surtee is absolute last as they near the corner. Into the straight, Clan O'Sullivan with the inside running, just led Loving Cup, King Marauding 3 deep, and Clocker right off the track. Vertingly on the fence behind those, followed by Fast Seal, and Burst is starting to weave between them, but Clan O'Sullivan kicked away. Clan O'Sullivan exploded clear of Loving Cup at the 200 mark. Burst is about to run into 3rd place, and she's finishing on gamely, so is Ken Fair. Clan O'Sullivan is shortening stride. Loving Cup and Burst down the outside is rocketing to the line. Burst has swamped Clan O'Sullivan. 4 straight for Shane Dye. Burst got up to beat Clan O'Sullivan. Loving Cup is 3rd.
And Burst's win continues the success story for Shane Dye, for Clary Connors, and also for horses that have won the Golden Slipper and then side winners.
Shane Dye is undoubtedly a freak rider. His performance in winning 4 consecutive Golden Slippers is just remarkable, and he's got this master of the universe style confidence, and that's what wins him Golden Slippers. He'll take risks. He did take a risk by even riding. He's been in pain for the last three weeks since Burst ditched him at Newcastle. And it just shows you the way that Shane can psych himself up for the Golden Slipper. A remarkable feat.
Keith, Brent Thompson had a...
is just getting fit and showed that yesterday. Quiddity, as we pointed out his previous start, went very wide on the turn, but Mick Dittman didn't even want to ride a Quiddity yesterday. I don't think Rough Habit stayed. My Eagle Eye can do a little bit better. Probably overall, it won't be remembered as one of the vintage BMWs.
OK, let's go to the BMW. It was a very good finish. Heads down all the way, Heroicity and Equidity, with Rough Habit trying to get to them.
Down the back they go, 1100 out, and Zimmergy is being pressured now by Stylish Century on the outside. In fact, Kevin Moses is going to make a lightning bid for the lead at the 1,000 mark, and Stylish Century now poked his head in front. Stylish Century went to the lead over Zimmergy. Acquidity is tracking up right behind them. Then Cool Reception, Dr. Grace close enough if good enough, followed by Heroicity and Magnolia Hall. And then Rudjig and My Eagle Eye is now taken away from the fence, and they're starting to bunch up as they come down the side. Further back is Rough Habit, who's giving them a bit of a start, and tailed off is Castletown. 600 metres out, Equidity went to the lead over Stylish Century. Dr. Grace in 3rd place is under very hard riding, and then Cool Reception and Heroicity. My Eagle Eye is now pulled to the outside as they turn for home, and Rough Habit behind a wall of horses.
straightening up, and Equidity is dashed clear. Equidity put 2 lengths on them. Heroicity getting into second place. Dr. Grace is under heavy pressure, followed by My Eagle Eye, and Rough Habit right down the extreme outside is going after them. But the West Aussie, Heroicity took the lead in the BMW from Equidity. Rough Habit can't reach them. Equidity kicking again. Heroicity and Equidity in a tooth and nail struggle as they come to the line. Heroicity on the outside, the youngest runner in the field, wins the BMW over Equidity. And Gavin Eads congratulates the rider of Heroicity as they go past the post. Rough Habit third.
Gavin Eads shaking Greg Hall's hand there. I think it's fair to say that Rough Habit is a superior wet track runner after that race, and well, those horses will go around, many of them in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, and Heroicity in the AJC Derby. City winning the BMW yesterday. His form just didn't look strong enough leading into it. What does this say about the older weight for age horses? I know we've lost a lot through injury and the shocking death of Shivers Revenge during the week, but what does it say about the BMW?
Well, Heroicity, Bruce, was the only 3-year-old in the field. I've always had a high opinion of him. He will be the first, or try to be the first, to win the Australian Derby and the AJC Derby. Incidentally, Greg Hall is desperately now trying to get off Star of the Realm and onto Heroicity prepared stayer. But I think Heroicity is something out of the box.
Max, did you feel that the race had lost a little because Equidity wasn't near them in the Australian Cup? And you look at, I mean, we've lost Let's Elope, and obviously Better Loosen Up wasn't there, and well, Superimpose, I thought, may have run at one stage during this autumn, and poor old Shivers is not there at all.
Bruce, any race that loses Let's Elope and Shivers Revenge has lost plenty.
In big race. Let's go to the Derby. We'll show the head-on, and then we'll talk about the future for both these outstanding 3-year-olds.
To the top turn now in the Derby, and the leader is My Diamond Rouge. Cool Affair got to within a length of him. Demi Dahar third, followed by Naturalism. There's Coolong Road making a quick move on the outside to go up and join those leaders. Heroicity has now taken out 3 wide. He's starting to go forward with Examination. Further back, Cabora, followed by Skylock, and then Stargate, Tar Heel Boy, Cavalieri well back. So is Viander Cross as they come to the turn. He's spotting them a start. In fact, he's not going well at all, Viander Cross. Star of the Realm is a mile back, and so is Intermusician as they come to the turn, and they've packed up very tightly where Shane Dye goes to the lead on Cool Affair, to be tackled in turn by Coolong Road and Examination. 3 wide on the outside, straightening up. Further back is Naturalism. Heroicity has now popped the question. Further out, Skylock is starting to run on strongly as they top the hill where Coolong Road got to the lead. Mick Dittman is squeezing through on Naturalism. Examination's there with Heroicity, and here comes Viander Cross. Viander Cross down the outside is motoring home. Naturalism the leader. Viander Cross inch by inch is wearing him down. Naturalism still in front. He ran out near the line, but Naturalism wins at a half length to Viander Cross in a bumping finish.
Well, John Tapp said it was a bumping finish. We'll show you the head-on in just a moment, and you'll be surprised at how far Naturalism does run out, especially in the last 60 or 70 metres. He veers out. Now, he's about to take a split. He's got the blinkers on in pacifiers. He's 2 from the left now, and he's about to get through. Viander Cross on the outside. Now, Naturalism, 2 from the left, is about to burst to the lead. Dittman riding hard. He's crossed those horses behind him now. He's still coming up, but watch this. Runs out quickly here and runs right up alongside Viander Cross and takes him out towards the end. But I think Max and Keith have both explained that it was a little too close to the post, but he did run about very badly in the last little bit. Interestingly, the bookmakers in Melbourne yesterday bet good odds Naturalism first past the post in the protest.
The margin, Bruce, was 3/4 of a length. The interference was 60 metres from the post, and bookmakers bet even money after the race about Naturalism retaining it.
And Wickwood, have you taken the even money Naturalism after hearing the steward's inquiry?
Oh, after hearing the steward's inquiry, I would have taken the even money Naturalism, not only with all that I have, but all that you and Keith have too. There wasn't much chance it would be upheld. Keith mentioned there 60 metres from the post. The vital point was it happened too close to the post. It happened closer than to 30 metres, and the margin, 3/4 of a length, too far to take the race off it.
Well, I guess it's a fickle question, but which is the better of the 2 horses? They've had 3 tremendous clashes now in Sydney, and there's been an excuse for the beaten runner each time.
Well, as long as Jim Walker continues to ride Viander Cross as he does, he will give Naturalism a tremendous chance of beating him.
Which of the horses would you prefer, if we're talking Cox Plates, Caulfield Cups, Melbourne Cups, whatever, which of these 2 horses do you think will go on in the spring and be one of the stars of racing?
I think they'll both go on. Naturalism loves the Valley. He's being set for the Cox Plates, maybe the Cups as well. It's probably accurate, if a little unkind, to say that the better jockey on the day won the Derby yesterday.
You prefer to have Mick Dittman than Jim Walker?
Yes.
at Doncaster. It was one of the great moments because we were hoping Superimpose could create a little more history. It's like the charge of the Light Brigade. Paddy Payne successful, the youngest ever rider to win this very famous event.
Around the first bend, and it's Western Chorus just in front of Soho Square. Blue Boss third, travelling 3 deep. A length and a half further back on the beach. In that bunch of horses coming down the side is Let's Hurry, followed by Big Dreams, and then Tucson Mannerism. Kinjatea's out 3 and 4 deep. Further back then came Rapan Boy, followed by Prince Salieri. Quick Score. A gap in the field to Colonial Spirit. A long way back now, Rechabite with Stradmore, followed by Old Roll getting along the fence. And then Power Chief Superimposes taking off around the outside. He's going to get him out into the open today, and back at the tail Surface Paradise as they turn the corner. Superimposes absolute last coming over the rise. Western Chorus and Soho Square joining in now down the outside is Black Sun. Mannerism is there running a big race, followed by Quick Score. Prince Salieri at the 200 mark. Soho Square at any old price, kick clear. They are coming from all directions. His Old Roll coming out of the pack. Old Roll and Colonial Spirit are lunging at Soho Square, but Soho Square won the Doncaster. Soho Square wins, I think. Old Roll second. Third's tight, Prince Salieri and Colonial Spirit. Kinj at the tail, Surface Paradise as they turn the corner. Superimposes absolute last coming over the rise. Western Chorus and Soho Square joining in now down the outside is Black Sun. Mannerism is there running a big race, followed by Quick Score. Prince Salieri at the 200 mark. Soho Square at any old price, kick clear. They are coming from all directions. His Old Roll coming out of the pack. Old Roll and Colonial Spirit are lunging at Soho Square, but Soho Square won the Doncaster.
Perhaps he should have finished closer had the instructions not been for Beedman to go around them. But more likely he was slipping on the downhill slide.
Spirit, Kinjate close up.
Well, the favourite was a 3-year-old Kinjate, but 3-year-olds ran first and second. I just couldn't believe that Soho Square, firstly, was just 30 to 1. I thought he was 100 to 1 chance, and secondly, that he saluted.
Ian Saunders won the Epsom Handicap in 1984 with Beat Cheval with one of the oldest jockeys, Kevin Mitchell, to do it. Yesterday he won with the youngest. But I tell you something, Bruce, that points to Euclays being the bet of the year tomorrow. Euclays beat Soho Square by 3.5 lengths, pulling up in the Veuve Clicquot at Rose Hill and ran a record, and he needed the run. How are they going to beat him in the Galaxy tomorrow?
Well, the size produce.
Dye is sitting quietly on Burst. He had the best look back you've ever seen to see where King Marauding is, and now he goes for home. And Burst got about a half length on Commissar, who's boxing on strongly. 2 lengths away is King Marauding and Merry Shade. He's got to go for Burst. Commissar is coming again on the inside. Burst about a neck in front. Commissar trying his heart out, but the filly's too good, and she got away right on the line.
Burst is now 2/3 of the way to completing the Triple Crown. Terce won the Triple Crown last year, and Luskin Star back in 1977. To the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, the favourite was Rough Habit, but most punters were hoping for Superimpose.
Superimpose taking a while to get going. Rough Habit sprinted quickly at the 200 mark and raced about a half in front of My Eagle Eye, and then Equidity, and Superimpose can't win. Rough Habit starting to draw right away in the last bit. My Eagle Eye running a sterling Sydney Cup trial, but Rough Habit too good and wins the Queen Elizabeth from My Eagle Eye.
Another Group 1 success for Rough Habit, this time on top of the ground. He goes on to Brisbane, where he's sure to be a major player. To the Galaxy, Euclays the odds-on favourite, but Scalacci again in rare form.
Scalacci trying to bullock out of a pocket. Street Ruffian's gone, and then Yellow Lad and Friends Venture. Euclays going strongly at the 200 mark. Scalacci is coming after him now. Dittman goes for the whipper. Scalacci ranges alongside. Old Friends Venture is rattling down the outside, but Scalacci shot clear close to home, and he's drawing away and is going to win well. Scalacci wins the Galaxy.
Scalacci is now upstage Placid Arc, winning the Big Three in Melbourne, the Lightning Stakes, the Oakley Plate, the Newmarket, and the Galaxy in Sydney in the one season. To the Oaks.
Clear on top of the rise, and Sea Rhapsody hit the front in the Oaks, but My Brilliant Star has burst through in the centre. My Brilliant Star shot to the front past the 200 mark over Sea Rhapsody, and then Swiss Cotton, Many Hands, and Regal Sea getting home well, but My Brilliant Star is annihilating them, racing away in the last bit and scores easily. My Brilliant Star won the Oaks, Swiss Cotton second, third Regal Sea.
So that was a wrap from during the week. Max, very brief. She is the one to beat. We'll see you next week, Max. Keith Scalacci, is he better than Placid Arc?
I think he's certainly as good as Bruce, and in any other year he'd be Horse of the Year, wouldn't he? But Let's Elope's performances that no other horse has done recently.
I think she's got that wrapped up. So go to the Sydney Cup, because there were a couple past 800 or 900 metres, and we'll discuss their prospects for the rest of 1992.
My Eagle Eye is bailed up on the fence as they near the turn. He struck a spot of bother there. Demerit's about 7 lengths off the lead as they come to the 600 mark, followed by Actor Wait, and then Just a Dancer, and Prince Hayes has dropped out last, and it's a packing field as the cup field nears the turn. Melko, the leader from Our Manavore, Ali Boy on the outside, and then Brashy and Magnolia Hall, followed by Equidity, Cool Reception. Further back is Valdano, and then Castletown, Just a Dancer, and Demerit is just on the inside of Just a Dancer as they top the rise. It's Melko in front of Ali Boy, Our Manavore, Equidity trying to pick them up. My Eagle Eye is now getting into the clear, and further out Just a Dancer. Demerit can't win. My Eagle Eye is bullocking through in the centre. My Eagle Eye reached the lead in the shadows of the post, and My Eagle Eye draws away to win the Sydney Cup over Equidity second. Third either Castletown or Melko, and Actor Wait close up with...
He had half a kilo more than Just a Dancer had last year when he won. He had the same weight as Kingston Town Co, but Kingston Town was a 3-year-old, and this horse is a 4-year-old. Sydney Cup day yesterday. Keith, I feel the Sydney Cup's made a bit of a comeback. Yesterday's field was one of the strongest for many, many years.
I think it was too, Bruce. An exciting performance by the winner, having only his 12th start, the Kiwi. I think we're going to see a lot more of him. He's being aimed for the Japan Cup. He's trying to do a treble that was last done by Rising Fast. Caulfield Cup, the Cox Plate and the Melbourne Cup. That's ambitious, isn't it?
It's not an easy one to do. I reckon Let's Elope might have done it last year had she been given the opportunity. Castletown, we should mention his performance. He had a lot of weight yesterday. He's a proven 2-miler. He's an exceptional horse, isn't he, over that distance?
Yes, he ran his normal gallant race, but Bruce, don't leave the Sydney Cup without mentioning one man, Grant Cooksley. He's won the last 2 Sydney Cups now, the last 2 Metropolitans. A great training feat by Murray Baker, but it was Grant Cooksley's ride again that won the day. What a remarkable jockey, what a remarkable feat.
The all-age stakes. We were talking about Jim Cassidy just a moment ago. Keith mentioned his vigour at the end of this race. It's one of the best finishes you'll ever see. Let's go to the all-aged.
And coming around the turn, Big Dreams is the leader. Old Roll in second place, being niggled a bit now as they turn for home. Quick Score third. Surface Paradise about to switch around those horses, and then Power Chief and Rough Habit as they come over the rise. Big Dreams the leader from Old Roll, who's under a bit of pressure coming over the hill. Quick Score's in on the fence. Surface Paradise is floundering a bit as they put on the pace, and Rough Habit on the outside is going as well as Surface Paradise at the moment. Big Dreams though. Big Dreams going strongly at the 100 mark. He's still in front. Rough Habit is motoring now. Quick Score diving through in the middle. It's Big Dreams hard up against the inside rail. Quick Score in the centre. Rough Habit out under the arches. You've never seen a finish like it. They're all across the track.
And Rough Habit got it. He's won races now from 1,200 to 2,400. He's won 18 out of 34. He's got a remarkable record. That race was 1,600 yesterday, but Keith, 6 of his wins have been at 1,400 metres. He's a versatile... This is the same horse that ran 5th in the Japan Cup last year. He is a decent horse, isn't he?
He's a very good horse, and he'll clash again with Quick Score in the Stradbroke in Brisbane in the winter.
Do his best. He has been regarded as a wet track horse. Randwick yesterday was in as fast a condition as it will ever be, so he destroyed that myth.
Give the 2-year-old Triple Crown. Burst the inside runner. Commissar stands well with Never Forget, Imposing Bull, and 600 out coming to the corner, and Yachty is in front of Imposing Bull and Hall of Fame. Never Forget sweeping around the outside. Slight Chances bailed up on the fence, followed by Merry Shade, and then Sir Amadi, followed by Commissar, and Burst as last as they come over the rise. Dies hard at work on the fillies. He's trying to see some daylight. He's about to push into the clear. He's out now on Burst as they come to the 200 mark. Imposing Bull, Yachty, Never Forget, Burst on the outside is coming out after them. Yachty still in front, Burst on the extreme outside, Imposing Bull in the centre. It's Yachty and Burst. They're coming to the line absolutely locked together, and it's close right on the line. There's nothing in it. Burst or Yachty in a very tight one in the Champagne. Looks like Slight Chance third, followed by Imposing Bull, Merry Shade, then Never Forget, Hall of Fame, and the last couple of Commissar and Sir Amadi. Very tight one. Very close one right on the line. Burst on the outside. And Yachty running a great race. Taken to the lead in the middle stages. Burst and Yachty in a desperately close finish in the Champagne Stakes. Now, if Burst gets it on the outside, by crikey, I thought she was going to reach Yachty beyond any doubt, and then just in that last stride, I got the feeling Yachty raised another effort, but Burst is on the outside, which is going to give her a big hope here. Here comes the final stride. Burst's head is coming down, and you'd want to be on Burst. Oh, hang on, there's another stride coming up. See, you've got one head up and one head down. They're always the toughest ones to judge. $2 and $1.20 Burst. Yachty 5.
Finish that was, so we'll check the divvies in the Mowatt and Shannon Champagne Stakes. And as you saw, Burst the winner. And it was a fantastic effort. The numbers 7, 1 and 5. Burst $2 even and $1.20.
Today there yesterday with the Castlemaine 10,000, a terrific finish with Rough Habit looking the winner in the straight but being pipped out on the line.
Yes, I found it quite amazing that Rough Habit could sprint up and hit the lead as he did in the straight. I didn't think there was a horse anywhere in Australia that could give Rough Habit, say, a length, maybe even a little bit more than that start. With, say, 150 metres to go and run him down, but Barossa Boy did that. Look, it was a marvellous performance by Barossa Boy.
Your call, Wayne, of a terrific finish, the Castlemaine 10,000.
By gee, this is a big battle as they come down the side. Magic Dealers just in front. While Overnighter's having a crack at him on the outside. Bounder Players moved up and so is Sonic Express. 4 of them stretched across the track as they run to the corner. Barossa Boy is a length and a half away, 5th, followed by Gilded Queen. Rough Habit starting to go forward now. He's midfield about 4 deep as they straighten up. 400 metres to go in the 10,000. Bounder Play loomed up on the outside of Sonic Express. While Overnighter's still there, Gilded Queen. Rough Habit hooked to the extreme outside. Kinjitay's not getting a lot of room. Friends Venture and now Barossa Boy. Barossa Boy is bursting through, but look at the Kiwi go. Rough Habit, the king of the Kiwis. He's loomed up on the outside to hit the lead. Barossa Boy is chasing him now. Barossa Boy grabbed Rough Habit. They hit it, and Barossa Boy's got up to win the 10,000. He beat Rough Habit. Meg's Ego 3rd.
Yes, a very good call there, Wayne. What's happening with Rough Habit? There's some thought that he might run tomorrow on the Gold Coast in the Hollandale Cup.
Yes, well, he's in a $100,000 race at the coast tomorrow. It's raining here in Brisbane at the moment, Bruce, and conditions are going to suit him now.
19 out of 38, Barossa Boy. What's his program? Is he Stradbroke-wise?
Well, there's a little bit of a problem there because someone forgot to nominate him for the Stradbroke Handicap. But Connection said after the win yesterday, well, he's earned $400,000 or near enough to that in prize money yesterday. They're entitled to spend the 25 large to get him into the big race. They're not going to worry about the QTC Cup because Scalacci's likely to stay in Brisbane for that after he was scratched from the 10,000 yesterday. So they said, well, we'll let Scalacci have the QTC Cup. We'll go for the Stradbroke Handicap, and Connections will pay the $25,000 late entry fee to get him into the Stradbroke Handicap. Bruce, there was an interesting comment made by Connections yesterday after the 10,000 that Barossa Boy had finished second in his previous 4 Group 1 races, and a lot of people doubted whether he had the courage or the determination to win a Group 1 race. Well, he deserved the win yesterday. He got it, and he showed great determination at the end to cut down Rough Habit and Meg's Ego to win it.
In Group 1 company, over 1,200 metres. He's a very, very fast horse. Let's go and have a look at the run, John, and we might talk about Dapper's Hope in second placing because he may line up tomorrow in the Angus Brute. So here's the Goodwood Handicap of 1992.
There's a real crowding. Cogitate just off the main body, and then came Scornsome going deep. Further back, Milady's Duel with Star On, followed by Street Ralphine, who's made up a lot of ground. Solemn Oath, Beau George and Cheval Cavalier getting up on their inside, and 4 or 5 Arc Regal, but Hugh Clays at the 600, dashed away, 2 in front and is going deliberately deep. Dapper's Hope near its inside is after it, then Zephyrat Bar Flyer. Over on the inside, Cogitate, Scornsome the rail, wider out on the track, wrap around, and they were followed by Pug for Me, Street Ruffian, T Habit. Dapper's Hope after you, Clays in the running at the 200. They're clear of Cogitate working home the inside. It's Dapper's Hope coming out after you, Clays, but I'll tell you something, the top weight is finding heaps. You Clays is racing away from them. Jeff and Beryl White, will they celebrate at the Hyatt Regency tonight, thank you. You Clays has bolted him with a Goodwood. 3 lengths to Dapper's Hope, 3rd Cogitate.
Yes, he was really very, very impressive. John, he's likely now to go to Brisbane for the Stradbroke, and on that very well. Hugh Clays yesterday got out to terrific odds in the Goodwood Handicap, 10-1. He's got a marvellous record in Adelaide, having won 2 races last year and maintained his unbeaten run. It was an impressive performance.
Extraordinary, actually, Bruce, just talking about the odds. The bookmakers aren't generally generous people, but 10-1 about a horse who last start started odds on to beat Scalacci. To me, it was just too good not to take up, and I'm afraid I did get on you, Clays. I thought it was a tremendous performance.
By the great grey, Scalacci, and I think we can call him a great grey by winning the QTC Cup. Keith Hillier joins us as always. Keith, I laughed anyway when Lee Friedman said, well, he could be the next Manikato. He's not quite there, and he may never get there, but he's on the way.
Oh, is he ever, Bruce? A fantastic performance from Scalacci yesterday. He had 3 kilos more than weight for age. He hadn't raced for 5 weeks,
and he took his record to 9 starts, 7 wins and a second, and that was the first past the post anyway. He's a fantastic sprinter.
We've talked a lot about this horse. Let's look at his scintillating performance. His acceleration's outstanding. QTC Cup, Scalacci.
Up towards the crossing, they've got 650 metres to go, and Roman Senator's the leader, a length in front of Scalacci. In third place, He's No Saint on the outside, followed by Lord Triton in the middle. Heavenly Knight next on the rails, then Dapper's Hope and Blaylock's Bull tracking through behind Scalacci as they approach the corner. Sonic Express, Royal Deputy next, and then Lord Triton in the straight, 400 metres to go. Roman Senator's the leader, shifting his ground a little bit. Scalacci's chasing him on the outside, and here comes Blaylock's Bull. He's joining in very quickly. Scalacci's moved up to Roman Senator. He's got his nose in front, Scalacci. Blaylock's Bull trying hard on the outside. They're clear of Heavenly Knight. Scalacci's in front. He shot away from them. This is the big grey. Look at him go the last little bit. Scalacci's too good for them. Unequal flying home at the end, but Scalacci's won it. Scalacci first, Unequal second, third, Roman Senator or Blaylock's Bull.
Eased up on the line. There's the market, Wayne. 5-2 Scalacci and 5-1 Rough Habit for the Stradbroke. And have they taken this horse to their hearts up there?
Oh, there's no doubt about that, Bruce. It was an amazing performance by Scalacci yesterday, and the crowd, they got behind him in a way that I've never ever seen on a Brisbane racetrack before. They were throwing flowers at him as he came back. Damien Oliver caught a big bunch of flowers as he came back into the enclosure. And hardened racing men in the enclosure just stood there and looked at Scalacci and even went over and gave him a bit of a pat. There were emotional scenes at Eagle Farm. It was one of the great days of racing in Queensland.
He's a great horse, Wayne. What do you think the crowd Wayne has just painted about the adoration of Scalacci? This horse has won the triple sprint crown down here, the Oakley, the Lightning and the Newmarket Handicap. He won the Galaxy at Randwick. He's won the QTC Cup, and he may now win the Stradbroke, yet he may not be Horse of the Year. That sounds unbelievable, doesn't it?
Well, it just says what a great year Let's Elopes had, because I think she still deserves it no matter what he does in the Stradbroke. She was able to win 5 Group 1s, including the Caulfield Melbourne Cups, and her win in the Australian Cup was unforgettable. Do you have an argument there, Wayne? I mean, Horse of the Year, Lee Friedman said yesterday, this is the Horse of the Year, Scalacci. I disagree. It's still got to be Let's Elope.
Well, I think in the heat of the moment, if he wins the Stradbroke next week, I think he'll be getting my vote, because he's a great sprinter, there's no doubt about that. And he's done almost the impossible to win that Triple Crown in Melbourne and then race so well in Sydney and race so well here in Brisbane. Look, he'll be in there with a great chance against him.
He's had 20 wins from 37 starts. That's a winning strike rate, obviously, of better than 50%. Yet, amazingly, his starting price yesterday, and he's never raced in anything less than the top company, was 11-1. I couldn't believe that, Wayne.
Huge odds, and there's a big go for Scalacci. Wayne, I'll ask you a little bit about Scalacci, maybe Barossa Boy. Let's go to the Stradbroke, though, and see the complete race. It is an extraordinary performance from Rough Habit.
Racing Turvey near the inside, fast away. Rechabite Hulagrachi began nicely. He's about 5th on, settling down. Found came Romani Conti, who's back with Brunch Time. Prince Triadia, Rough Habit second last, and Royal Deputy at the rear of the field. Coming up towards the 650, Hugh Clays. He's moved over onto the rails. He's the leader. Scalacci's running second. Faustiesta third, followed by Hula Grey. Kenjataya's next on the rails. Infallible improving on the outside. Then Carson's Cash. Well back as they straighten up is Turvey on the inside of Rechabite. Barossa Boy pulled to the outside, and coming wide too is Meg's Ego in the straight, and he said let's go on Scalacci. He's moved up and he's hit the front. 250 metres to go. Scalacci's the leader. Barossa Boy is chasing him on the outside, and he's looming as a big danger. Scalacci's in front, joined by Barossa Boy. Barossa Boy's hit the lead. Look at Rough Habit. Rough Habit's flying on the rails. Rough Habit moved up, grabbed the lead, and he's won the Stradbroke. What a performance. Rough Habit first, Barossa Boy second. Third is Turvey on the inside of Rechabite. Barossa Boy pulled to the outside, and coming wide too is Meg's Ego in the straight, and he said let's go on Scalacci. He's moved up and he's hit the front. 250 metres to go. Scalacci's the leader. Barossa Boy is chasing him on the outside, and he's looming as a big danger. Scalacci's in front, joined by Barossa Boy. Barossa Boy's hit the lead. Look at Rough Habit. Rough Habit's flying on the rails. Rough Habit moved up, grabbed the lead, and he's won the Stradbroke. What a performance. Rough Habit first, Barossa Boy second. Third home was either Meg's Ego or Rechabite. Kinjate just behind them, then Scalacci.
Must congratulate you, Wayne. It was a brilliant call there. 20 wins out of 37, as Keith said, 2.23 million. Quite interestingly, 13 of his 20 wins have been at either 1,400 metres or 1,600, yet this horse has been good enough to win the BMW at 2,400, and he actually ran a very good race in the Japan Cup last year when we thought he was out of form, where he was very creditable. Keith, I was a bit surprised when we went through that, and his victories have been around 7 furlongs and a mile, because he's more a mile and a quarter horse to me.
Yes,
A remarkable performance yesterday by Rough Habit. One of the great wins in the, I think, for this season anyway, and maybe for a decade.
Yes, it thrilled everyone, Bruce. Last to first, John Wheeler declared those plans in the morning that he would drop out Rough Habit, or Jim Cassidy would, and pray for a run in the straight. Well, someone up there must like Jim Cassidy, because I suppose he's got the right initials anyway, hasn't he? But it was certainly a memorable race and a memorable ride.
Your comparison with that victory and some of Superimposer's victories at Randwick in the Doncaster and the Epsom, where he too made thrilling runs and a couple of times on the inside.
Yes, similar. And there's nothing more exciting as a spectacle to see a race won in that fashion. And one.
It must have been one of the most exciting moments as a race caller to see this horse ducking and weaving and threading his way through.
Oh, it certainly was, Bruce. I had a look at the replay after the race, and it was more or less Rough Habit just turning his head to the side and saying to Jimmy Cassidy, well, I'll do the running, you do the steering, and together we'll go on and we'll win the Stradbrag Handicap.
And Scalacci, we shouldn't put him down at all, Wayne. He has failed at 1400 at his only other attempt, but I still think he'll get the distance. It's the end of a very outstanding and successful campaign for him, so let's not write him off in a hurry.
Oh, no, Bruce, he's a great horse. There's no doubt about that. See, they went very fast in the early stages of the race yesterday, 45.7 from a standing start. And they came home very quickly too. It was just a fraction better than 36 seconds. Well, he was up there doing plenty of work at the early stages of the race, but I can't offer any real excuse for Scalacci yesterday.
Boy, a terrific performance. He was placed last year. He beat Rough Habit in the 10,000. Just finally on the Stradbroke, you've seen a few of them now. How does this rank amongst the great races you've seen at Eagle Farm?
I think that race yesterday was the best I've ever seen. That was a marvellous performance, a once-in-a-lifetime performance by Rough Habit, and the ride of his life, Cassidy. We've got to congratulate him. It was a terrific ride yesterday.
It sure was, like Kiwi in 83 coming from... let's have a look at the race now, because it's a great finish, and Kinjite was gallant in defeat. Rough Habit creating history by winning the Doomben Cup for a second consecutive year to go with his 2 Stradbroke handicap wins.
Captain Cook leads by a length on Majestic Boy. Third is Crosswords on the inside. 1.5 to Kinjite, travelling nicely. Travelling Teller is next on the rails, followed then by Sea Mist on the outside of Equidity. Fleet Dancer next, starting to go forward, and there goes Cassidy on Rough Habit. He's starting to gather in these leaders now. He's sweeping around them 3 deep. Chevelle Cavalier's next on the inside, then Native Neptune. Well back is Mercator down the side, 550 metres left to go. Captain Cook is the leader. Majestic Boy running second. Kinjite is running third. Crosswords is next on the rails, then Sea Mist. Rough Habit about 4 deep as they run to the bend, but he's coming out after these leaders into the home straight, 350 metres to go. Captain Cook is the leader, a length in front of Majestic Boy. On the outside, Kinjite and Rough Habit. Rough Habit starting to gather them in now. Here he comes. Rough Habit's joining in quickly on the outside, and inside the 200-metre point, he's hit the front. Kinjite's going with him. Rough Habit and Kinjite. Rough Habit just in front of Kinjite. Kinjite grabbing him. They hit it. Oh, it's close. Very close. Kinjite or Rough Habit, it could go either way. Tight for third as well. Rough Habit's joining in quickly on the outside, and inside the 200-metre point, he's hit the front. Kinjite's going with him. Rough Habit and Kinjite. Rough Habit just in front of Kinjite. Kinjite grabbing him. They hit it. Oh, it's close. Very close. Kinjite or Rough Habit, it could go either way. Tight for third as well. A great run.
Well, what did you think? Even the trainer of Kinjite, Noel Doyle, asked stewards to have a good look at that photo finish before he would accept that Kinjite had been beaten.
Yes, an extraordinary finish. Terrific horse, isn't he?
Oh, he is a fantastic horse, Bruce, and he brought Sandown locally here to its toes yesterday. Everyone cramming closer to their TVs, trying to work out who'd won that photo finish, and most plump for Kinjite.
Well, Wayne Wilson...
I think the true qualities of a champion were evident yesterday with Rough Habit. After he got that bump, you could see him just stick his head out, and he said, well, I'm not going to cop that. I still want to win this race, and he did in a very deceptive finish. I think almost everyone at Doomben, except Johnny Wheeler, thought that Kinjite had got the decision. And Chairman of Stewards Ray Murray, he said after the race, had the photo gone the other way, he would have had no option but to take the race from Kinjite, because he did bump Rough Habit in the last 50 metres of the race. It was a great race and a great performance again by this marvellous racehorse Rough Habit, and believe me, in the spring you'll see the best of him.
Do you believe him, Keith?
I think he is.
I hope so, don't you?
Yes, he's an exciting horse. The margin was a nose. That's the shortest possible margin. The judge later said that the actual distance, Bruce, was 6 centimetres. Now that pen top is 6 centimetres, and that's the margin that made a difference of $135,000 in the winners and the runner-up check for Rough Habit, and put him into the top 10 all-time Australasian stakes earners. Yes, the margin that made a difference of $135,000 in the winners and the runner-up check for Rough Habit, and put him into the top 10 all-time Australasian stakes earners.
Yes, he's a superb horse.